Hello special people, I want to specially welcome you to this new year, and in this tutorial video I'll be introducing to you how to run your supply or how to bring your load cable from your NEPA supply into your bungalow. Remember, your bungalow is not an upstairs, whether that's downstairs that your bungalow is having one DB, which is a single phase, or a three-phase DB. I'm going to be showing you how you bring your NEPA supply, which is the three-phase, to your building, and how to mount your cutout, from your cutout to your changeover, from your changeover to your single phase DB or your three phase DB. So I want you to pay attention to this tutorial. Don't allow anything to distract you. Pay attention. You can take your pen and paper and make sure you jot and sketch whatever thing we are going to say in this particular video, so that by the time we continue with other videos that will be coming up after this one, you will not miss out. Yes, now before we continue, I would like to show us what we have here. This is our pole. This is the three phase. This is the neutral coming from the transformer. Now here is our cutout. Here is our cutout. These are the three phase. 1, 2, 3. The red, yellow, and blue line. This is going to be for the neutral link. Now when we go ahead, this is going to be the changeover for the single phase. Now, this is the changeover. This one is the one you are seeing here. Here is our DB. This DB is a single phase DB. So whether the DB is going to be single phase or three phase, we are going to capture it in this demonstration. So I'm going to show you the simple way to do your connection, and also another way to run your connection in this particular video. So here, this is our pole. So before you come into the building, this is the phase and neutral. So here we have this. For this, we have the second line coming. This is the third line for this, and for our neutral, this is coming to the neutral link, and the neutral will continue. Some persons don't use this link. This cutout, we have the fuse or the three fuses for this cutout. We are going to make use of one. We can't connect the three of them, but here we can loop the three phase. We can loop them and make use of one. Here we can make use of one. But before we go on, you must finish the connection within the building first before you talk about connecting the pole. Don't mind me, I started from the pole, but this pole connection should be the last thing you will do. After the connection of the earth cable or the earth wire, you connect to the pole. So, but in this video, we are going to start from the pole so that you understand it. So after understanding it, the best way or the normal way is to run your connection in your building. Of course, when you want to start your wiring, you start from the DB. This is the DB. You don't start from any of this. You don't start from any of these because they are supposed to be at the control panel. So at the control panel, that is where you see these ones. While the DB should be either at the middle of the building where all the circuits will be assembled. You assemble all your circuits. All of them will come to the DB. So from the DB, you come to the changeover. From the changeover, that is where you also connect your generator. Now, when you put the fuse, or before you put the fuse, you must have connected all these parts. That is what we are going to do now before we continue with the explanations. So let's continue with the connection. Here in this connection, we have traveled from the pole to the cutout, and from this cutout, we are going to the changeover. And remember, this changeover, this is for one phase, for single phase. We have the other type of changeover that is also for single phase and for the three phase. So in this particular explanation, let's continue with the connection. So our neutral is coming here. Then this one, we are taking one line from here to this. Then we're going to loop from here to here and from here to here, so that when there is light here, we can put here. By the time it gets here, we have gotten the light. When there is light here, or there's light here, and there's no one here, we can change our fuse to this one. That is the way it is done. So here goes to our load. This goes to our load. Our load here, this switch here is a double pole switch, where this part here is for live and this one is for neutral. This is for live and this one is for neutral. So, and in this connection, we don't connect from the top, we connect from the bottom for this particular DB. So we connect from the bottom. And in this type of DB, we have opening here. We can travel into the DB from here. So whether you are traveling from here, you go this way. You go this way. And connect to this. That's for your load. While the live, you can also, the live will travel this way. To this point. Then, of course, these ones will go to your generator. Single phase generator. Then you can change when you go up, like here. When you go up, you've connected to NEPA, and when there is no NEPA supply, you can bring it down for the gen supply. So let's continue here. From here, we'll get connection to our neutral bar. This is the neutral bar here. Then here is the bar for the arts. So, but before we come to this point, here, this is the simplest way we can connect our NEPA. We can connect the NEPA whether the building is a 2-bedroom apartment or 1-bedroom apartment that has this kind of distribution board. This is the way you can connect or run your connection. So another thing I want to show us is the arts, because without the arts, this connection is not complete. So for the arts, this is what we need to do. Let's assume that we connected. This is the arts from the ground. Arts cable will come here. From here, we can connect to our circuit. We connect to our circuit, like if you have your sockets coming, the sockets, I think it should be either green or yellow. Yes, we need to make use of the color codes. So here is the arts wire. Here is our circuit breakers. And what I want to explain here is that the system, the electrical system or the electrical supply must not or should not be connected to our building without this cutout, without fuse, so that the fuse is going to protect the electrical system from overload or whatever kind of problem that may come up. In our subsequent video, we'll be looking at how to test your art, how to make sure that your art is effective. how to make sure that the earth is effective, and how to test your supply. If you want to test your supply, you use your voltmeter to test your supply. You put one probe at the negative, this negative terminal or the negative supply, and put one here. The next one you put it here and check another one. The next one you put it there at the neutral bar or the neutral link, and check the third one. That is how to check your supply, so that you know the value of the supply that is coming into your building. So that is that. Remember, the one we just saw involved the single phase changeover. The changeover, now we are going to make use of a changeover that is 3-phase. And in this particular 3-phase changeover, we can engage the NEPA directly. If we like, we can connect each supply to this. We can connect this to this, the blue line to the blue line, the yellow line to the yellow line, the red line to the red line, if you like. If you also like, we can take one of the supply, like we did initially. We can take and loop others after testing it with your voltmeter. We can take one of the supply and loop. We can loop so that the supply will get to the 3-phase. Now, this 3-phase, this is the 3-phase changeover. Remember, it also involves the neutral, and it has connectors, or yes, it has things that metal that engages each of them, like that. So what it does is that the load is connected to this side, the right side, while the supply to the left side. For instance, if we are connecting this neutral, our neutral will travel this way. It will travel from here. It will travel to this neutral bar where the supply from NEPA is coming, and that of the gen will be for our soundproof, which is for 3-phase. And in this type of generator, we make use of either the armored cable or 4-core cable. Now, this cable here, we have the neutral coming from the generator. This neutral will be coming from the generator. This blue line from the gen. This blue line from our generator. Then, let me show you. This one is the face from here and there to our generator. Every time you engage the gen, you must have engaged the main supply to the building. And if you disengage the NEPA, you engage the generator. And mind you, this is linked to this. This is linked to this, but it's not linked to this. Each one of these is linked to this, but not linked to this, and not linked to this. That is why I have to show you this. This is a cable connecting this to this. This one is a cable connecting this to this, and here is a blue cable connecting this to this. A cable with a blue insulation. Then here is for the neutral, connecting this to this, but it's not connected to this. So when you engage, when you raise it up, for instance, there is a metal connector that connects this to this. The metal connector is like that. It will connect this to this, so that the neutral will reach to the fuse switch gear. Here is our switch gear. Here is our fuse switch gear. If you take a look at this, you will notice that there are fuses. 1, 2, 3. And here is our neutral link. Then, by the left side of this switch, we have a place we connect our arts. The art here, we have a place for our art connection. Likewise, this, we also have a place we can connect the art here. Yes, here. So, remember, our art is not coming from the pole. It's not coming from the NEPA pole. The art is to take away excess current or faulty current. Here, we have our supplies coming. So, if you like, you can connect this blue line to blue line, the yellow line to this yellow line here, this one here. Remember, this one will be coming here, the yellow line will be coming here, and this particular one will be coming here. In that manner, you will notice that all the three fuses will be connected, and if the three fuses are connected from here, it will go to this particular point. But one of the disadvantages is that if any of these lines should be off, if any of these lines is off, for instance, light is here only, what will happen is that by the time you introduce it to this point, because this 1, 2, 3 is for one phase, the second 3 is for one phase, depending on the type of DB that you are using, you discover that some of the circuits will not be on at all. Current will not get to this point. So because of that, a lot of persons or electricians or engineers prefer to loop this one. You can loop it to this and to this. Then when you loop it to this, loop this to this, and take one to one of these. You take it to one of these and also loop it from here to here, from here to here. Remember, our supply will be from here. This is for the supply. This is for the supply. This is for the supply. Just take a closer look. Take a closer look at this. Here is where the supply for the neutral is coming towards the left side. Towards the left side. Then, if we decide to take one of these, so that anytime there is enough current, maybe one of them has enough current or enough voltage, the voltage is okay, we can take our fuse to that particular one, and it will supply to this particular one, and it will be looped to these three, meaning that current will be supplied to this blue line, yellow line, and red line. And when it's supplied to all these three lines or three phase will be supplied, and this three phase will come to this they'll be connected to the fuse. Remember, under it is where we connect our load, and each of them is connected like that. Each of them is connected like that. This is the blue line. It's connected to this towards the right. For instance, the yellow line and the red line. Then for the neutral, look at our neutral. Our neutral will travel from here. Our neutral will travel from here. Again, let me use the blue color. Our neutral will travel from here. Travel to this neutral bar. Before I continue, this is an enclosure that has opening here. It has like 4 openings. 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't just scatter your wire anyhow. You know how to arrange it. Don't worry, in a subsequent video, I will show you how to arrange your cable so that it will not be seen. You will not make a mess of your connection. So you make use of all these openings. Here also we have opening here from top and bottom. We have up here, we have bottom here. So in this particular demonstration, this is how we do it, and this one will come here. This line will come here. This one will come here and enter here. While if you come under it, you see the load. If you come under it, you see the load. This is for the blue line, this is for the yellow line, this is for the red line. So for our neutral will travel from this neutral link. It will travel from this neutral link. Look at our neutral here. It will travel from this neutral link and locate the neutral. It will locate the neutral. Whether you are traveling from up here or from under, you must locate the neutral. You know, when you locate the neutral, it will come to this point. Look at our neutral from here. Let me use the black. Sorry, I don't have enough ink today. This is our neutral. The neutral will travel this way. and it will come to the neutral bar where it will serve the whole circuit. Then for this particular line, the three phase, for the blue line, this blue line will be connected. The blue line will travel. It will travel from here, travel from here to this point where it will enter. There, this one will travel from there here to this point, and this will travel from here to this point. And this our fuse switch gear will either engage or isolate the building. Anytime a maintenance work is to be carried out in this particular building, this is where you will always come to. You come to this place. If you want to test your work, you come to this place firstly, or you can come here. If there is NEPA supply and it's already on NEPA, you don't need to bother yourself. If you want to make use of your generator, like if you are in the bank, for instance, yes, the bank always make use of this type of changeover switch. This is the type used in the bank, so that when there is NEPA, it will be used. When there is no NEPA, you make use of the soundproof generator. Here we connect each of the DPs to this. If this particular fuse switch gear is one phase, that is neutral and one phase, it will be one neutral and one live, meaning that this particular live will be looped to this and looped to this. I don't want this video to be too long, so at this point I'm going to be ending this video. If you have questions that you want to ask, you can ask your questions, you can drop a comment at the comment section. But firstly, if you like what we are doing, if you have watched up to this point, I want you to like this video. You can share with your friends, share with people who want to take a look at this, and subscribe so that our next video, which is going to be on this series, you will not miss it at all. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day.